Seth, it's been 3.5 months since our last interview. I look forward to hearing how you've been in that time. I know back when we done our first interview, you had landed two revenue share clients, and yeah, you were doing copywriting. So how are you doing? How has everything been since then? Any significant things to talk about?
Yeah, there's a couple things. So in copywriting, most of the things have stayed the same. I still have the same clients. Have made some more money, have gone up in total revenue. So in that time, I think it's been total about 6 months that I've actually really started to try in the real world. And since then, I've made about 5K. My two clients are the same, like I said, two revenue shares. But a lot of stuff has changed inside the real world. Another campus opened, the content creation campus, and I'm a captain inside that campus. I help out and I do a lot of the wordsmith and the copywriting side of that campus, make all the announcements and stuff like that, and help the professor do his thing. You know what I mean? But how are you doing? How are you doing today, Rokas? We haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, I'm good. Done another interview before yours as well. And yeah, just continuing the interviews. 6 months, going strong. And we'll do a part three with you in another 3 months as well.
That's good to
So
hear. Good
yeah,
to hear.
holding you accountable and everyone else.
Yep.
Okay, so how did you become captain of the content creation campus?
That's a long story, but it's very. I was in the right spot at the right time. So a lot of stuff was coming out. The influential speaking campus was out, and a lot of people, like, if they had made a certain amount of money, they could apply to kind of become an ambassador for TRW. And so I started to work with Pope like about a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks before the CC campus actually started to come out. And I was a copywriter and I was working with Pope. He saw I had some skills talking and was comfortable on camera. So I was just in the right spot at the right time. I was good at what I did. And I got access to become a captain as soon as the UGC campus, now the content creation campus, started. And yeah, I've been a captain ever since.
Mhm. And how long ago did the campus open up?
I think about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months now, and we're running pretty clean. We're almost at 40K students. We're the fastest growing campus. Got a lot of retaining attention. We're doing super
Mhm.
good. So I mean, I don't know. We're blowing up. We're going to be the biggest campus, bigger than Business Mastery pretty soon. We're coming for Arno.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the amount of work that Pope is putting into it is insane. He's online 24/7. Like I
Oh
log into
yeah,
the real world and I just see green light under the circle of the campus. Pope is live. I tune in sometimes. So yeah, he's
yeah,
just
yep. We're
non-stop
doing
working.
big things. We're doing big things over there.
Okay, and what does you said wordsmith? Do I remember that correctly?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
does that involve?
So that's just my name on the captain thing. I'm the content creation wordsmith. So what that pretty much is I'm the copywriter for that campus, right? So any announcements that we're doing, any pins, anything that Pope wants, I mean, I'll do the type forms and stuff like that. I just write them out and I use the stuff I've learned in the copywriting campus to do it for Pope. I'm kind of his apprentice copywriter that helps him out and stuff like that.
Mhm. Have you had wins from content creation yourself, or is it specifically more of a assistant role for Pope in the campus?
It's more of an assistant role, but I don't have any wins, but I definitely have learned a lot. Like I can talk to Pope whenever, ask him any questions I want, and of course I'm learning stuff inside of it. Like I'm better at speaking on camera, learn how to edit better, learn all kinds of stuff, learn how to use AI, do subtitles, do all these kind of things that I want to do and use in my business in the future. So it's helping me drastically, and I don't even have to pay anything. I don't have to do anything. It's right there for me to learn.
Right, right. Okay, very interesting. I'd like a bit more of a scoop on the campus since you're directly involved with working there. What was it like when you first started out? What was it like building up the campus, getting new people in? How did everything progress to now?
Yeah. So when we first started, it was a lot different. We had a gate, and you had to submit an entry video to get through the gate into the campus, and that was a big. It was a big. Let's just say, lack of a better term, it was a crap show. You know what I mean? There was all kinds of stuff always happening. People always sitting in there things and just it was a big mess. So we eventually took away the gate and people can just enter, but they if they want to enter certain things, like if they want to go through the user generated content section, they have to enter a submission to get into that. If you want to do content creation, you're usually implied into that and you can just watch the lessons, pass tests, and get into that. But yeah, at first it was just user generated content, and then it turned into content creation. So now we're like embodying a whole large thing like editing, AI art, everything, right? Talking on camera, video ads, influential speaking, everything. And eventually probably
Mhm.
I think I won't give it away, but some other stuff later down the line that Pope has planned that's going to be really big and it's going to really change things. So yeah, I think our campus is really most campuses they embody one thing and there's little maybe spout offs of what they do, but we cover a whole large thing of content creation. I mean, it can be so many things and we encompass it all inside our campus.
Mhm. And just for an understanding, UGC is what, just ad creation for companies, or does it involve more things?
Yeah, it's UGC is like one little section. That's video ads. So like people will like the ads you see on if you're scrolling TikTok or Instagram or something, and you see like someone making an ad about a product. That's usually UGC, and that's what they teach.
Mhm. Okay, and yeah, now you're saying it's branched out to way wider sector for content creation, everything encompassing content creation. Okay, interesting. And how would you say, since you have first-hand account on this, how would you say the material differs within the content creation campus to what people can find out on the internet?
Yeah, so I mean, like everything in the real world, I think if you looked hard enough outside on the internet, you could find it. But it's like it's is the time and effort really needed and really worthwhile to do that, right? You can find anything on the internet, but you just have to look hard enough. Here in our campus, it's all in one spot, right? Anything you want to do, anything you want to learn to make a YouTube channel, to start a personal brand, to make edits, to make ads, everything you want to do for a business, it's right there, right? Everything. If you want to learn how to edit for YouTube, you can learn how to edit. If you want to learn how to talk and make videos on YouTube, you can do that. If you want to learn how to make overlays, you can learn how to do that. If you want to learn how to be influential speaking, cut out the pauses, the likes, buts, whatever, you can do that. There's everything that you can do. You can just become a total G at content creation and really do whatever you want inside our campus. And it's all right there.
Mhm. All right. And people have been clearly, people have been seeing success from your campus as well. I've interviewed quite a few people now from the leaderboards. And yeah, considering the campus has been on and up, has only been up for 2 months, it's already had quite a drastic impact on people. And it's interesting to hear where they see all of this scaling as well. So I look forward to all the follow-ups I'll do with everyone from content creation to again see how everything's scaling for them.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay.
I think we have 5 or 6 people over $1,000 now. It's pretty cool.
Mhm. Right. And what about your copywriting journey then? So you're saying you're not investing as much time into it now because you're busy with the content creation campus?
So yeah, a lot of the things I do inside of the content creation campus are doing with copywriting, right? Like a lot of times I'm doing a copy call where I help people with their outreach, right? I'm not the total expert. Andrew Bass is obviously the total expert at copy, but I help people with their outreach and how they should pitch themselves to brands doing content creation. That's a lot of the things I do, and that helps reinforce my copywriting principles that I've learned. Also, I write announcements and stuff like that, so that's practicing my copy. So, yeah, I might be spending time not directly from like outreaching or working with a client, but I am improving my skills and just reinforcing those pathways that the things I've learned. But other than that, yeah, most of my time is directed towards copywriting. I'm working for a client, outreaching or improving my skills, maybe reading a book on some principles or watching a YouTube on some principles and learning. Yeah, but that's what most of my time goes to, and it's just I supplement it, and it usually all goes to the greater good of things. Yeah.
So in terms of mentally, maybe physically, what other changes would you have to speak about in those 3.5 months since our last interview?
Yeah, so I don't know if this is really the question you're asking, but I do a lot of physical things. I'm a big gym person. I'm a very big gym person. So I'm always big about my physique, I'm big about, building a good body, being healthy. So that's a lot of things. Like if you follow me on my socials, I'm always posting pictures with my shirt off, which is probably not the most appropriate thing, but it is what it is, right? I want to show off the things I've worked very hard for.
Right.
That's one thing. And then mentality, right? I'm always a big person about stoicism and always about I'm a big religious person. So I'm always trying to improve in those things and further my relationship with God and the understanding of my mind and the understanding of how the world works and how I move through it and become a better man, right? And become more successful. And that's
Mhm.
it's very cool because you can look back just on 3 months and you see that like almost you're a totally different person. Maybe not on the outside, but on the inside, I think a lot of us that really truly try to improve, we can notice that it's like we've come a long way mentally and we're not the same person as we are just maybe even a month ago. We're a totally different person just because we're constantly improving every single day. and we're looking to try to push the limits of our human endeavors and try to become better men.
Right. You know you're improving when you look back on yourself maybe 3 months ago, and especially when it's in video format and it's hard to listen to yourself because of how different you sounded back then. So that's
Yeah.
something I can tell from my end. And that's just an indicator that, yeah, I'm improving. And it's interesting as well because people who would usually spend their time on social media or YouTube or just on TV, to them it feels like the year is just passing by. It's like, it's New Year already. Oh, I don't know where the year passed by. But to people who are actually working every day, doing things, productive things every single day, just a month feels like a year, just from the amount of things you do in that time and the amount of change you see within yourself. So yeah, what you're
This is
saying is beautiful to
this is
listen
actually what you just said is actually perfect because just the other day, I think it was night. It was like at 6 p.m. or something like that. And I usually write a task list for the day so I know what I'm supposed to do. And I looked back at one of the tasks and it was like, I did that in the very morning when I woke up, but it felt like I did it like 3 or 4 days ago. And it's like, it's been like a day. And I just did that task. And it's just like, when you're working 16 hours a day, it's just time just goes slow. I mean, it seems like it's just for an eternity, but it's worth it, right? Yeah, that task I did in the earlier part of the day, but it felt like it was like almost a week ago. But yeah,
to.
it's crazy.
Right. Yeah, that reminds me of. I know there's a quote from, I think it's Seneca, but I won't be able to remember it now. But it's something along the lines of, it's not that our lives are short, we're given time in ample measure. It's just about how we use it.
Everyone dies, but not everyone truly lives.
Yeah, that as well. So yeah, okay. And a bit more on how has your average day changed now compared to 3.5 months ago? Is there much of a difference?
Just I would just say like little switches, and also a little bit majority of towards, I guess you could say, more obsession. The more I want to become better, the more little. I think it's crazy because I think the big thing is that when you first start, there's big adjustments, right? Instead of watching TV, you work more, or instead of cutting out bad things, you just replace them with good things. But then once you reach a certain stage where you can't cut out so many things, all you can do is maybe stay up another hour, or wake up another hour, or cut out this 30 minutes here and cut out these 10 minutes here and obsess more and think about it when you're going to sleep and these things, right? And it just improves yourself just a little bit more and pushes you to a little bit more of a limit to get better, right? I would say maybe that's just really the only thing, is just little adjustments. Like now I'm trying to think about what I can and solve problems when I'm going to bed. Wake up maybe a little bit earlier, and as soon as I'm following better routines to improve myself and get more effective and productive, and I'm working throughout the day. I mean, I've always done that, but just little things to improve and be a little bit more productive in the day to get more things done.
Right. And what would you say to people who think that is excessive, the working so much every single day?
A lot of people, I have the perfect answer because a lot of people already say that. I think most people that truly do live those lives, they get people that say like, you need to take a rest, you need to like do something else other than that. And it's like, you can only get if you really want something, if you really want a goal, you have to obsess about it to become great. You know what I mean? That's the only thing you can't live a normal life, have work-life balance, and achieve something great. It's just not possible. If you want to achieve something that other people don't achieve, you have to do something that other people don't do, right? And so I know that probably later in life, once I accomplish things and I've gotten to a certain point where I'm more comfortable, you can tone it back and you can implement new things and kind of become a little bit more balanced. But when you're going uphill and you're climbing the mountain, when the rocket is breaking the atmosphere, you have to be going 100%. You have to be doing it, and that's all you have to do to increase that momentum and get there. But then once you break free of the atmosphere, you can maybe branch out and become a little bit more balanced in the things you do.
Mm-hmm. A very interesting answer. Thank you. And what do your parents think of what you're doing?
They probably wish I did a little bit more balanced activities, maybe hang out with friends a little bit more, relax a little bit more, do some things that I enjoy a little bit more. But, I think at the end of the day, they can see that at least I'm doing something that's benefiting me. And
Mhm.
so to at least that extent, they're okay with that.
Right. Okay, good. And any new insights in those 3.5 months that you can recall to share with us?
Time always moves forwards. If you guys are going through a hard time, remember that it's eventually going to end as long as you keep going, because time always moves forwards. Even if you're going through a good time, remember that it's going to eventually end. Something else will take its place, and just remember that that thing will end too. So just enjoy the moment while it lasts. If you're going through a hard time, get through it and keep going, and eventually a good time will come, and enjoy it when it comes.
Thank you for that. Okay. That's good for me to hear as well. So thank you. So since you're on this trajectory now, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, long term? And whatever you say for short term, I'll be holding you accountable in the follow-up interview we do. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. So short term, just keep on improve and continue trying to outreach and try to get another client. Just want to keep on improving in the content creation in my campus. And then that's short term, just to keep on improving my physique, keep on improving my mindset, keep on improving my health, and just continue to become more and more successful, scale my income. In the medium term, save up for some things I'm trying to buy. I'm trying to get a new vehicle. I want to join the war room eventually. These are some things that I have goals set that I'm trying to scale towards. That's the
Mhm.
medium term. And then the long term is, eventually scale myself to where I can create my own agency in copywriting. Well, more than copywriting, just scale and create a marketing agency where I encompass other things, where it's all kind of pretty much content creation and advertising and marketing online. So eventually I want to do that and have my own agency for that. That's a big thing down the road. And, just continue to improve on the other aspects,
Mhm.
health, religion, uh, yeah, all those things. Just keep on improving those. And I mean, that's just kind of what I've realized is that it's just a constant grind. You got to keep on improving. That's the whole point of this thing. So yeah.
All right. And what are your plans for merging content creation with copywriting? How will those two correlate?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things, right? So a lot of the things now, the way the world's moving is a lot of the ways you advertise and market is through social media. And social media is heavily create based in content creation. So like if a business is selling watches, for example, I like watches. So if a business is selling watches and I'm helping them sell their watches, they have to make content for those watches to post on their social media page to interact people, bring people in, to create leads, and to sell more things, right? So a lot of so my grand plan is to have a team that creates things like that, right? Like I'll have UGC creators that create the advertisements. I'll have editors that edit it. I'll have people that know the analytics and the ways the algorithms work. So I know how, but I'll teach people how they work, and they'll manage all that. They'll manage all the copywriters. Will manage all the way the things are post, the text and everything. We'll have people that are managing the brand awareness and the brand image and stuff like that, and do all that kind of stuff. We'll have people that are running Google ads in the background, right? We'll have a holistic thing to the all of marketing and advertising online. So a business will just come to my agency and they'll have everything they need under one roof to market and advertise their business online.
Mm-hmm. All right, that sounds huge. And considering you already have pretty much most of that skill set, if not all of that skill set, then yeah, very seems very achievable in medium to long term to build that agency. So all the best with that. And again, I look forward to hearing progress updates on that. Thank you for your time. And to end off with a final question, since you're a captain in the content creation campus, you're experienced within the copywriting campus as well. What advice would you have to people who are unsure about joining the real world? Maybe in the back of their minds, they're thinking, what if this is a scam?
Okay. So I'll ask these guys a question. What do you want in life? That's what you have to ask yourself. Do you want to make money? Do you want to become more successful and separate yourself from the other people in life and have a better life? Do you want that, or do you want to be normal? And you must answer that question in yourself, and you must truly, honestly answer that question. And if it's the former, if you want to become better, if you want to become more successful, increase your finances, increase your personal worth, then the real world is the perfect place for you. I mean, that's the simple answer. I mean, once I joined, I was a normal person that really didn't stand out in any form or metric. And when I joined, I slowly and through hard work, I achieved things that now separates me from everyone I meet, usually in day-to-day contact. I mean, I'm the kind of one percenter of the the people I contact and people I meet. And through hard work and through perspicacity and through all these things, things Andrew talks about, the real world really encompasses that and shows you it and gives you it in a almost a school kind of manner, right? But instead of learning things that you'll never implement in an actual school or college, in TRW, it has real world applications that you can apply every single day and become better. And you can trace your metrics, you can trace the journey, and you can become better. And if you really want to truly improve your life, it's the only place that I've seen that you can really truly do that.
Mm-hmm. Right. And instead of being graded like in school with A, B, C, here the grading is based off of how much money you make.
Yeah, but how much of a G you are, that's how you're graded. By how much of a G you are.
Okay, so Seth, for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram if you want to see more. Seth.Thompson21. Like I said earlier, probably if you watch this, my shirt's off a lot of it. So yeah, it'll be cool. It's a testament to my hard work, I guess you could say.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so again, Seth, I look forward to the follow-up interview. Thank you for coming on for this interview. It was great seeing you again and catching up. And yeah, all the best to you until next time.
See you, Rokas. It was good talking to you. Good talking to you. Good catching up, my friend.